about.
And we're live. What's up, folks?
Go Spurs, go!
Eddie's flexing on the Spurs because the Spurs won the lottery.
The draft lottery, which means they get the number one pick.
Well, it's sad that they were so bad they qualified for the draft lottery.
Well, they had better have been. I was hoping all season for them to tank. When I would get a message or an update that they won a game, this is not even on the radio, right?
No,
I'm like, what
just
the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you winning? Stop winning. We want this
kind of like tanking at the end of the season to get the high draft pick.
Yes, all season tank. We want this 7'3" French kid,
which Chicago got and then traded it to Carolina. So Carolina ended up with.
Yeah, but we got more picks.
Well, that's true.
We got the left tackle that we needed.
That's true.
So
and the Texans, the Texans got a quarterback. They got C.J. Stroud. So.
I don't care what the Texans do.
So
what is this?
Stu Myrick, Eddie Cross, Justin Simmons will be here soon. So for those of you that listen to us on the horn, Fight Night's taking the week off, so we are taking over. So it will be a 2-hour show tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central.
Jordan's in Denver, I believe.
And Jordan's in Denver.
Having some edibles. And
does he hold it?
No, he doesn't.
I was going to say.
He's a good Mormon boy.
Okay, I was going to say, I bet you 10-1 he's had maybe an eyedropper of caffeine in his life.
That sounds about right.
Meanwhile, I'm drinking coffee like it's going out of style.
I literally just spit out a piece of caffeine gum.
Why would you spit out a piece of caffeine gum?
I got all the caffeine out of it. Also,
I guess
I'm talking into a mic. I'm not going to keep it in my mouth.
I'm
a professional, Stu. I'm a professional sports guy. I'm here to talk wrestling. Go Spurs, go.
Hope everybody's had a great weekend. Hope you have a good beginning of the week. It was a very quiet weekend. I didn't even go to Austin FC on Saturday night, which I'm kind of glad because Dallas scored in the 88th minute to win 1-0. So Austin SC still has not won an MLS match since March. March 11 was their last win.
How did we drop so far? Did we lose people?
It's a combination of there's been injuries. Everybody is Sebastian Driussi who scored like crazy last year. Now it's kind of like that point guard in the NBA that's really hot. Everybody figured out who to protect,
right,
or who to guard, and so now they're getting after Driussi. It's just I don't know. It's just it's a combination of things. So
yeah, well, we're not even halfway yet, are we?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
There's still time.
Premier League is about 2 weeks away from finishing.
Okay.
And I do watch that on occasion. Justin, of course, he'll. I think his team's Manchester City, who are they are on the verge of winning the league this year.
I don't have a Premier League team.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I watch it just to get a little more familiar with soccer.
The one European team I do like is in the Bundesliga. Eintracht Frankfurt.
Okay, all right.
But I almost never.
I know Bayern Munich. Yeah. They've won that league like the last 10 years, I think.
But Frankfurt looks much cooler, and they're sponsored by Indeed.
There you go.
Which is local.
I know our good friend Nigel Rabbit, who's a great wrestling manager up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He always wears like a Manchester United scarf, although I'm not sure he follows Premier League that much. But he liked the Man U look, so why not?
Okay. Well.
So
I was at a Walgreens or something a few weeks back, and there was this guy sitting in the truck bed right next to where I parked, and I could not for the life of me figure out what the stickers that he had on his truck. And I think it said like was it MU or MC or Man C?
MCFC?
Maybe that was it.
Manchester City Football Club?
I think that was it. And I'm
That'd
like,
be Manchester City.
What is that? It took me till I came out and like saw his shirt, and then I put it together.
Yeah.
That he was wearing a soccer kit. I said soccer.
We do have one segment that is in the can. So on Monday morning, I had the great pleasure to talk to Kerry Morton, who is the current NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and his father, the one and only, one half of the legendary Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton. They are tagging together.
He is on your left pec.
Yeah. They are tagging together. They actually been tagging the last few months, and they are entered as a tag team into this year's Crockett Cup tournament.
Good Lord, man.
Which the NWA will hold
How old
June.
is Ricky now? Gotta be pushing 70.
Easily.
I mean, I hope
Well,
to be that
and
athletic.
he and Robert were in the Crockett Cup in 2019. They faced the Briscoes.
Yeah, they're still going. I mean, I hope to be that active when I'm that age, but
Oh, yeah.
good Lord, dude, you're
Yeah.
scaring me.
So, and it was a great conversation. Had a great conversation. So, the interview's out there. It's on podcast. It's on YouTube. NWA has tweeted it out. Big thanks to Billy Corgan and everybody in the at the NWA. Fightful did a write up on it today, I think. So, thanks to Sean Ross Sapp and the folks at Fightful.
Nice.
So, so that's in the can. So we will have 5 segments instead of 6. But yeah, it will be a 2-hour show tomorrow.
And that's
on the
just
horn.
great timing, because why not have a super show right before AEW is in your backyard?
Well, and that's that's the ironic thing, because by the time we go on the air, Dynamite will be over.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be taping Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, we know the basic, because Double or Nothing's coming up in about a week and a half. We at least know 2 of the matches, and we probably know at least 2 others. So we'll talk about that. Plus, Tony Khan has promised a monumental, huge announcement, which he seems to have a huge announcement about every other week.
And by the time
But if this is what everybody thinks it is, okay, yeah, this one's a big one.
Yeah.
With the rumor
I would still say not big enough.
The rumor of AEW doing a television show on Saturdays on TNT.
So question is, will this be an additional show, or is it going to replace Rampage?
We'll talk about it, but as far as I know, it will be an additional show.
So, like WWE Superstars or main events, kind of maybe take Dark Elevation.
Well, and see, that's the thing. We don't know. We don't know for sure. We've heard a lot of rumors. I think the Warner Brothers Discovery upfronts are tomorrow. So he's going to do that, and then he's got Dynamite. So he may be doing the jet setting, head to wherever they do the upfront, and then come back to Austin, so he can do Dynamite and Rampage at the Moody Center.
Right.
We know I think we've got the basics. We don't know all the details, and like I said, we'll talk about it during the show.
Like I told you before, you want to make it really huge. Announce that True TV is giving up 2 hours of the 40 hours of Impractical Jokers that they show every week, and that's putting on Ring of Honor.
And that's the weird thing is Justin Smash Simmons makes his way in. That's one of the things is why. Well, we got to get into it in the show, but why they don't put anything on True TV, I don't know. But
what, they put the tournament on True TV?
No, wrestling. Right? I'm talking wrestling. Yes, they do March Madness on True TV.
It's the overflow.
TBS, TNT, True TV, and CBS.
Like I said, they've got damn near 40 hours of Impractical Jokers a week. Take off 2 of those hours, put on Ring of Honor.
I mean,
they don't have any sports properties on True TV. Right. In fact,
what would you?
But they think it's enough. They think it's important enough, or big enough, or easy enough to find that they'll put March Madness on it, which is a huge property, second biggest behind NFL, maybe. Or NCAA football.
Yeah.
Okay, third. So people know it's there.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll get into some WWE stuff. You're going to do a little bit of.
If I see Tony Wednesday, we're talking True TV. I'm gonna grab him. Like, Tony, look, man.
Seeing as I know Tony stays in Gorilla I forget what they call it now, but
that
he
means
stays in Gorilla pretty well. He'll pop out every now and again. I mean, because like I've been backstage and you'll see him, sprinting here, there, and yonder. So
Yeah, where I'm going to be sitting, I won't see him.
Yeah. So, how you doing, Justin?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What's this hat? I like the color.
I'm just tired.
Oh, it's an Austin FC hat because I see the.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Okay, cool.
Now, if I can just get a stinking win.
Actually, I don't like this color green.
Well, the problem is he's wearing the 2021 hat.
Well, it's established 20. No, it's established 2021. See, it says EST. That's not just because it's Bianca Belair.
It's not Bianca's.
I was reading it this way.
Yeah,
but no, because
I have a shirt. I have the shirt with that logo.
Do you have any hats? Do you wear hats?
I've got an Austin FC hat. Yes, I wear hats. I have way too many hats.
You're right. That is the wrong shade of green.
Yeah, like it's. Yeah, you see the logo?
Yeah.
Okay, like there's other ones that have a closer shade. I mean, I don't hate it. I like it, but like when you put it up next to the other gear, it kind of looks a little off.
They're more of a Kelly green, and that's closer to...
It's like they were trying to go for the bright version, but they went too bright.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like a shade. And I mean, just a tad shade darker.
Yeah, scooch darker. So.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's, So I bought like 2 hats, in comparison that I'll be debuting.
Oh, nice.
Okay. All right. Well,
Fancy.
Well, we got a actually pretty full show. I was a little worried too.
Yeah.
So when you text me 2 weeks ago saying, "Hey, Jordan's out of town. Can you take our hour?" I said, "Okay, sure." And I'm going, "Good God, what are we gonna?" We don't want people falling asleep though.
No, but we got into like a really good conversation last week. And I was all like, "See, that's what we should have kept on." And you even agreed.
And I
think we could have.
And I understand that. Here's the thing. I'm watching. So I'm keeping a look at how much time we use on the segments, so we can make our thing. B, I don't want to spend 2 hours editing afterwards. Because you go on this tangent about whatever, and I have to cut all of it because I can't use it on the radio show.
Yeah, I told him the same thing. I'm like, dude, I can go sideways for a long time. Don't worry about making time.
Because remember, I edit these things late at night, and I have to get up. I have to get up early tomorrow to play Hurricane stuff.
Play Hurricane?
Yes.
Like
I'm in a Hurricane exercise for the first state government.
He's gonna spin around going.
You're gonna be
yeah, that's it.
Doesn't that go against COVID restrictions?
Hurricane
so you can't just be like.
No, the pandemic's over.
Okay, so you can start breathing on people.
Yes,
again?
we can start breathing on people.
Okay.
So anyway,
I was gonna say, I thought you talked about Hurricane. I thought you were talking about like the Hurricane. And
Shane Helms.
I was like, you're gonna go dress
that
as
may
the
have
Hurricane.
been one of my very first wrestling interviews before we even did the show. He and Chavo Guerrero were in town. It was the show you and I went to at Del Diamond, Lucha Libre USA. Remember that?
Oh man,
it was got to be 20
it's been forever.
14, 2015, something like that.
Wow.
And it was this. They were trying to start up this company.
Was it global?
No, it was Lucha Libre USA.
Okay, yeah.
And I think they had Brian Cage on their roster, and they had Chavo and Hurricane on their roster. And I got to talk to both Chavo and Hurricane after the show, and it was really cool, Cool. And I've seen Hurricane a few times, like at WrestleCons and stuff.
Yeah. What's he do now?
Appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all the others.
I figured he'd be backstage somewhere.
Actually, I want to say he's a road agent for WWE.
Yeah, it seems like he'd be a good road agent.
I think
that's
he
what I was
is. Yeah. Chavo has been busy with
Chavo's
like
in
everything,
Hollywood, man. Stunt coordinating and glow
and then tweeting out stuff about was it Ray mimicking Eddie or whatever.
Speaking of wrestling in Hollywood, a couple weeks ago I was up for some reason way too late, and I ran across this wrestling movie about zombies at an indie wrestling show featuring Randy Couture and Baz Rutten and one of the doctor from Heroes.
Why does that sound familiar?
I think it was called the Manson Brothers Midnight Zombie Massacre or something like that.
I think I've heard of it. I know I haven't seen it, but I think I might have heard of that.
Solid B movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in the right place because I was like, I had this question coming in. So I'm taking my friend who's not into wrestling, right? And it's a she.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right.
You taking her to AEW tomorrow?
Now we're getting juicy. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're cool. And I was just thinking about, what do you wear to a wrestling show if you aren't a wrestling fan? And then she was like,
For her or you?
Regular clothes.
No. And then she was like, can we go dressed like matching, like a tag team? And I was like, so I'm like, I'm not against it.
Wait a second. Relationshipy.
My personal rules, if I go to a wrestling show, the only gear I wear is our gear. Either our T-shirts or the golf shirt or the work shirt.
I might have to pull out a horn shirt.
I don't. So, and that's just me. Even like when I do the commentary for Inspire, I'm wearing usually my Sports Guys Talking Wrestling golf shirt. Now Kenny he'll dress to the nines because he's still got his gimmick as the kingpin.
Hey, that's how crosses do. I mean,
yeah.
Can't you tell?
He spells it with a K though.
He's wrong.
Well,
all right.
I guess that's where you guys stemmed off the family tree.
Yeah, we kicked him out.
So
yeah, a couple letters.
So yeah, Kenny will be in a suit and long sleeve shirt, and I look at it and I just start sweating. It's like, good God, dude. you can we're not. It's not like we get on camera. You can dress down. So
nah, man, I like that attitude. You gotta dress for the job.
Yeah, except we're outside.
It's okay, man. I mean,
I'm gonna do me.
Back in the 1800s, your forefathers, went out with full pants.
Dude, how old do you think I am?
He said
forefathers.
I was born in '68.
I said forefathers.
Well, guess what? I'm not. I don't
forefathers.
I don't care about what
electricity.
happened. I don't care about what happened in the 1800s. It's 2023, and I'm gonna dress comfortably. So, all right, let's make a little radio magic.
Oh, that's what I was trying to show you. Trying to get my.
Let's see. Oh, this good sugar skulls. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I also
very nice.
Got the next Crystal Head vodka.
I've had and I've tasted it before. It's pretty good. I've got a shot glass from them.
Got one there, another skull that's like completely blacked out.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Oh,
I thought I had a picture of it, so I swiped it.
You like the Aykroyd stuff, huh?
All right.
I don't know if the vodka's any good, but
here we go. We're gonna.
It's like a $55 bottle.
When they're not covering the sports world, they're talking about the world of professional wrestling.
It's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Now, with Justin Simmons, here's Stu Myrick.
It is Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the horn. And yes, it's a supersized one. We're taking over. Actually, we're not taking over. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons. How you doing, Justin?
I'm doing well.
And because his partner is traveling for business or whatever, we bring him in so he doesn't feel lonely. It is the one and only Eddie Cross. What's up, Eddie?
How's it going, guys?
I'm good.
Thanks for having.
Before we get to the wrestling talk, you do have something that you guys would cover on Fight Night. So, and I saw this on ESPN. I even saw it on Wrestling Observer. But there was a big story that broke this morning.
Yeah, first thing Tuesday morning, I'm standing in the mirror brushing my teeth, and my co-host, who is in absentia, starts DMing me and texting me about Francis Ngannou, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world, the undefeated UFC heavyweight champion. Well, he's lost before, but he hadn't lost the belt when he left. Signing with the Professional Fighters League, which is, depending on how you count it, the number 2 or number 3 promotion.
Okay.
And this isn't a step down because for him, what he wanted from the UFC was what pretty much every fighter actually wants, but they're too afraid to say. Pretty much what every wrestler wants, who's considered an independent contractor, though they can't go wrestle for the other guys. So what he got out of his deal was equity and leadership roles in the PFL.
Okay.
He's going to be promoted in their super fight division next year, while being allowed to compete in boxing, all on his own. Mm-hmm. He's going to become the chairman of the newly launched PFL Africa, which will be building up in the next couple of years. He guarantees a high 7-figure purse for each fight. So, which most people in the UFC make like 50, 70 per fight.
It's like not even close to that.
Nowhere near. Now, the UFC claimed they offered him a huge deal, but it was also going to be many more fights. He's signing this one for 2 or 3 fights. They wanted him probably locked down for 8.
Yeah, because with the super fight division, that's pay-per-views only, correct?
Yes. Yeah, pay-per-views only. And he's going to get a split of the pay-per-views. He's going to get a signing bonus or salary this year, and I guess in the future years, to serve as a brand ambassador, do some marketing. So even if he's not fighting in the PFL this year, they're going to be paying him. He'll have the right to have his own sponsors in the cage, which the UFC nixed a long time ago. And he'll also guarantee a minimum salary for his opponents, a floor of $2 million.
Not too bad of a payday.
This is the Kurt Flood of MMA, except in this case he actually won and didn't ruin his career.
So my question right now is, okay, so Ngannou gets this deal. Mm-hmm. Will this cause other fighters, even other UFC fighters, to say this? In fact, it feels a little bit like when Cody Rhodes first left WWE back in 2015, 2016, something like that.
That's a good way to put it.
To bet on himself. Could this be like open the floodgates for other UFC fighters to say, you know what, I'm going to go bet on myself?
Hopefully. And the ones that can get out of their restrictive UFC contracts, because they lock you down seriously. Mm-hmm. So Ric Flair, as he was still the WCW or NWA champion, going over to WWF and with his belt.
With the belt, yeah.
Because that's literally what Francis has. He never lost the UFC championship.
Right.
It's like CM Punk taking
He is
it
the
off.
literal lineal heavyweight champion of the world.
Punk, well, I think the difference is CM Punk
he never went anywhere else. You can say Kurt Angle.
He just left. Also, if I make an analogy to Ric Flair, don't bring CM Punk into it. What's wrong with you?
But I can see it. So, like, it'd be, WWE wrestlers only wrestle in WWE. Now, yes, we have the once in a blue moon outlier, like Shinsuke Nakamura going to Pro Wrestling Noah, but he was, because Great Muta wanted him in his retirement match.
Yeah.
Oh, and they inducted Muta into the WWE Hall of Fame. So,
the one time it works.
You got that.
But Eddie,
you have the Good Brothers. They get signed with WWE, but they let them take care of their New Japan commitments
because they'd already had commitments.
And Carl Anderson was still the never openweight champion at the time. Mm-hmm. So
Triple H being more flexible than Vince.
AEW does let their guys do a little, some indie dates. Mm-hmm. It's not every wrestler, but like for instance, you had John Moxley doesn't work GCW anymore.
Right. Now this is a little different because it is an exclusive MMA contract with PFL.
Yeah.
So his MMA won't be with anyone else.
Right.
Now he can go box on his own.
Yeah.
Which is something UFC won't let people do unless you're Conor McGregor. So he's been hoping for a shot with like Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, maybe Anthony Joshua.
That was my real question, was the boxing one, because if you guys were on this week, you guys would have talked about Rolly Romero being gifted that fight. Like you saw Tony Weeks and his bad call. No, don't even know that fight was going on.
I know what was going on. I didn't watch it.
Ooh.
Sorry.
You did yourself a disservice, man.
Yeah, I did. It was
40-year-old man. He knew that his opponent last second change, knew of his chance for a last payday. The title was on the line. He was winning on all the cards. Round number 8 goes into a flurry. He's on his defensive. He looks tired because he's 40, right? Mm-hmm. But he's still in the fight. And then the ref stepped in and called it off, even though he didn't take any other serious damage. And everybody just went. That was probably the most I've seen about boxing on social media, and I figured that, that seemed prime for fight night.
I had heard about Tony Weeks stepping in too early, But like I said, I didn't get to see it.
Oh,
I
it was
ended up
bad.
spending way too
Okay.
much money on my vehicle this weekend.
Oh,
so
that
I was a little
sucks.
down in the dumps.
So
Tires are expensive.
I mean, so that will be something to watch. You know, obviously, good for Ngannou to get the payday that he got.
Yeah. Now,
You know, there's talk about how wrestlers, you know, they need to be paid more because of what they put their bodies through, which, you know, I totally agree. But Ngannou getting all that, you know, for his name being the UFC heavyweight champion, you know, good for him. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many other fighters. And it may not just be limited to UFC. It could be Bellator. It could be, and
that's one of the things
Legacy. It
I
could
didn't
be
mention
some of the
now
others.
That's important is he got a seat on their board
Yeah.
in the, as a fighter representative, which is one thing he thought was really important. UFC was never going to agree to.
Right. Yeah.
But, so yeah, PFL Africa. PFL, as they've already started in Europe.
Okay.
They're going to open branches in like different continents.
Now
And
they're
hopefully
ones
at some
that
point have like a Champions League.
they have.
The tournament.
Am I wrong? They have. Do they
First
have
season.
teams?
No, that was the IFL.
That's IF. Okay.
That was years back.
Okay.
PFL has like literal seasons.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I knew
basically
they had
have a
seasons.
tournament, and then around October, November or so, they'll have one huge event where every division
I think I
has a
saw
championship
something.
fight.
They're coming to San Antonio sometime, maybe late summer, early fall.
I have to double check on that.
But I thought I saw something.
But yeah, they have they put on a good product.
Well.
And when they first started, their tagline was "Fighters First." this is in line with
ESPN
that.
carries them, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and Lillian Garcia, former WWE
yeah.
ring announcer, is the ring announcer for PFL.
Yeah, that's right.
We've had her on the show before. Wonderful, wonderful lady.
Yeah.
So
Great singer.
yes, fantastic. Well, good on Ngannou.
It might take a while, but with a guarantee of $2 million, whoever is coming up on the end of their contract,
That's going to look some. That's
they're going to
gonna
want to let that play out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
And just a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's what this does.
Let's get into WWE as they.
Oh,
yes.
real quick. Jordan wanted to crap on it, just so he doesn't feel left out tonight,
What's that?
and say, well, who are they going to get to fight him? All the trolls on the internet are like, oh, the PFL is spending too much money, they're going to go bankrupt, as if their accountants don't know how much money they have and how much they bring in and what they expect is going to happen. It's like saying
look,
the Chiefs are going to go bankrupt because they paid Patrick Mahomes too much. I'm like, come on, people, they know what they're doing.
Well, I mean, I understand where the concern will lie, because just like in pro wrestling, you know, we've seen a lot of startup,
Oh yes.
you know, that fail, but that they try to go out there and they
God
sign
bless
big
Wrestle
talent.
Circus.
Yeah. And it's just one of these things where it's all like, you know, maybe they don't have as much money as it's perceived.
Yeah, well,
and
they
they're,
haven't
and
been
they're
around
taking
for-
the risk.
Well, they haven't been around for 20 years yet.
Yeah.
They're not a startup.
Yeah.
So also, they've got ESPN money, which is one thing that keeps UFC putting on crap cards, is that they don't care how much money they bring in because they have so much money from ESPN coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what's going to stop UFC from trying to exercise some sort of exclusivity, right, with them, and pulling a WWE move and being like,
they
you want
wanted
our
to-
pay per view?
Well, no, hold it. UFC's not going to do that. ESPN is much bigger than
Yeah.
UFC. ESPN's going to say, fine. I mean,
No, I mean, what like the UFC is like the NFL of this whole fighting thing. So it's all like it's
But
hard.
what would the NFL be without TV?
It's hard to take something new, right, or lesser than, and promote it as the top league. That's
they're
all
not-
I'm saying.
Oh, they're not changing it, promoting it as top league. They're promoting them both.
Yes,
so,
I
it's
understand.
like
I
AFC.
understand that.
Fox runs USFL games.
Yeah, but that's not in competition with the NFL. It would be like if
Been doing.
does UFC exactly? And at what point now with new ownership does UFC, who is now in cahoots with WWE and like they're under one umbrella, pull the wrestling move and be like, hey, you know how you wanted to show Starrcade? Well, we got this other, pay-per-view, and wrestling's really hot right now, and we're kind of like the big dog in it. So if you want this pay-per-view,
Who are they telling this to?
Yeah.
ESPN.
Well, first off, they're already under
ESPN will say,
they're already under contract.
Yeah,
Secondly,
they've got
UFC
the
is
deal.
getting so much money from ESPN that they'd be fools to try and pull something like that.
yeah.
Because then they'd actually have
There
to do
is
some
no
work.
exclusivity between them.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's where the problem lies.
It's
I
like-
think,
Well, until that deal comes up.
Yeah, it's like how many
They just have to deal
soccer
with it.
leagues are on ESPN?
but that's our job is to predict these things. And I'm
No,
like, this is
we
going to
know.
happen.
We're not kind of
No, it's not my job to predict them. I don't know who you're
Are you
talking
Mystic
to.
Mac?
No,
You got
because-
a
Predict these
crystal ball in
things.
your pocket or something?
Well, I mean, if everybody wants to be searching my pockets for balls, that's between them and their faith.
Listen here, Daddy
Get
Magic.
you and Miz together. Let's get into some WWE. Speaking of which, so we now know at Night of Champions on May 27th in Saudi Arabia, it will be Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles to crown a new world heavyweight
Stu, how
champion.
dare you?
It's not even the most
I'm
exciting thing
sorry.
about this match.
I'm sorry. Look, Seth and AJ. It'll be a fantastic match. We know they're both fantastic wrestlers. But, and I think Justin, you and I talked about it last week in the podcast only segment. This belt feels like a consolation prize because because Roman basically has nobody left. He's gone through everybody. They can prop up, whoever, but nobody in their right mind thinks he's losing the belt,
Well, that's because they screwed up all the booking for the last 6
Yeah.
months.
which I still say they should have given Cody the belt, but that's me.
They should have at least split them at some point.
And by the way, you've got this new World Heavyweight Championship,
beautiful belt.
but
Don't agree.
it's okay. But you got Roman, who carries both the Universal Championship and a belt that says World Heavyweight Championship.
Does it? It doesn't just say WWE.
No,
champion?
it says World Heavyweight Championship because they never changed it.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure that changes
Well,
coming.
the thing is, they never say that when they announce him.
No, they say undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
And what they should say is WWE and Universal Champion, which makes it sound like two.
Which-
but when you say
well, they
together
should
like that, it
what-
just sounds like one belt.
What they should have done was just split the belts.
Yes.
And award the WWE Championship to, in this case, either Seth or AJ.
Now, what I hope they do now is retire the Universal because number one, it was a dumb name in the first
No, they're
place.
going to keep that
and
because
that was the consolation prize before.
but they're going to keep it because that's the one he's held the longest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one he's about to get to 1,000 days, and I guess the next record he break will be Pedro Morales.
Maybe
who's
when
got
he- maybe
the
when he reaches
third longest
1,000,
at like
they'll,
1,100 or 1,200.
Are there any plans for a new belt for him? Maybe once he reaches 1,000, they'll kind of combine them into one thing.
I don't know.
I like the aesthetic of him having two belts, though.
It does look cool.
It reminds me of
I don't because
But they're
you're
lame belts.
you're basically admitting then
I thought you were
that
calling it
World
basic.
Heavyweight title is a consolation prize.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it. It's just WWE. It's like when you watch it, I just, I accept that there's going to be things that don't make sense, but that's just wrestling.
Okay.
I
Look,
try not to make it let it deter my viewing too much.
You're like Vince Russo. The belts mean nothing. They're just props.
No, I didn't say that.
No, you are. I believe me. We've been doing the show for 7 years, and that's what you do. I contend
Two or
that
two couple.
they want this World Heavyweight Championship to be on par with the Universal Championship. It won't be, but that's what they want. They're not going to do that if Roman is walking around with two belts still.
Right.
It's not like the tag titles.
That's why I'm hoping they combine them into one thing.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know.
Also,
But that's
those belts are
happening
ugly.
in Saudi Arabia. So something else that's happening in Saudi Arabia. Friday night on SmackDown. So they bring out the bloodline. Roman is like fuming at the Usos
That was a good segment.
to the point he wants the Usos to apologize. Jimmy Uso's trying to keep from laughing, which I like that. I got to wonder if maybe he just had a tickle moment and just, it just happened while they were in the ring.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
Paul
with
Heyman,
Paul Heyman back there clowning like he does. I mean, you can't help it.
then he proclaims that at Night of Champions, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will defend the tag titles against Roman and Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that brings up a couple of issues. First of all, that means you don't have your top champion defending in Saudi Arabia, which, has been, for all intents and purposes, propped up as mega shows,
Right.
even though we all know they're glorified house shows.
Well, you do your own editing, so it's okay.
Like, talk about a
I was
Freudian
going to
slip.
say horse show, not the other.
It didn't sound like that. I'm just saying.
But
Steve, I've been doing this show for 7 years with you, so I'm just letting you know. I heard what I heard.
But you got your top champion who's going to go after another belt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you've watched WWE long enough, I think you can figure out they're going to find a way to keep those titles on Kevin and Sami. It's going to be, and my guess will be the Usos try to help and it backfires. That's what I'm thinking. But it just seems a little short-sighted. He already does not wrestle. He's basically a part-timer now.
Yeah.
In fact, he hasn't wrestled since Mania.
Yeah.
So we are going on, May, we're recording this on a Tuesday, May 16th. So he's basically going, a month and a half that he has not wrestled in the ring.
Yeah, those belts should have been stripped by now in the old days. You don't wrestle for a month?
Yeah. It was 30 days, right?
Nah, Shawn Michaels held on to that belt for as long as he wanted.
But the old rule
Oh.
was 30 days. Every 30 days you had to defend the titles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
Or
mean,
be stripped.
back in the old day, we would just said that.
Yeah, we're going real old. We're old.
Yeah, but if we were going real old, we would just say that he defended his belts somewhere in Brazil on a house show loop that you didn't see. So it's all good.
He's in Belize City, Belize.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Here's the other one. Sami Zayn is Syrian. Syria has been ousted from the Arab League for, I think they said 11 or 12 years, to where Syrians could not enter Saudi Arabia. And when they started doing these shows in Saudi Arabia, they requested that Sami Zayn not be on them.
Did they?
Because he is Syrian, and Syrians on the ouster.
Yeah.
Now,
but he's Canadian.
Well, he
Canadian
was
Syrian.
born in Canada.
Yeah.
But his parents came
I was
over
gonna
from
say,
Syria.
Now, what does he have written on his tights sometimes that I can't read? Who knows?
His parents were born in Syria.
Right.
Now, and I try to stay away from world news as much as possible, but this popped up. Come to find out, it was, I believe, early last week, the Arab League voted to bring Syria back into their fold.
Yeah.
And they have reestablished diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia.
Thanks to Sami Zayn.
Which
probably. So you're saying that Sami Zayn brought world
that's
peace
right.
or what?
It's kind of like Antonio Inoki got the hostages freed from Iraq.
Man.
He confronted Saddam Hussein back in '90. He did that, right?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
So at that time, Antonio Inoki was a member of the
like
Japanese
11.
parliament. And so when Saddam Hussein was keeping the, quote, guests in Saudi Arabia, this was like leading up to Desert Shield, Desert Storm, all that good stuff, they sent a Japanese contingent, including Inoki, to ask for the release of those people.
Nice.
So,
Sports do bring people together.
yeah. So anyway, so it does look like Sami Zayn will, in fact, travel to Saudi Arabia. And Kevin Owens has stayed out, in support of Sami.
Mm-hmm.
Now that this has happened, they will travel Saudi Arabia. They will wrestle at Night of Champions on May 27th.
Yeah, good for them, and they get to collect the big payday. So
interesting turn of events.
good to see the political terms
The
of the
thing
world
that worries me is that it scares me that I don't know what Triple H is going to do with the tag belts, because we just all knew that Cody was going to win the title from Roman, and now, as much as they love piling belts on him because he's the biggest star we got, Why not put the tag belts on them too?
Hold that thought. We're going to take a break.
Don't let me hold it. It scares me.
We're going to take a break. We will pick that back up on the other side of the break, along with some other WWE stuff. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. All right, 22:38.
Oh, that's not bad. I was afraid we rambled much longer.
Oh, no.
It could have. It could have. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
oh, yeah.
easily.
That was good.
Easy.
Okay. All right. Let's do the second one. YouTube, Twitch. We'll be right back. Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons, and Eddie Cross from Fight Night. All right, so
I hate that song so much.
it's actually starting to grow on me. I got to be honest.
I can't do it, man.
Now, I've talked to Seth twice now at Super Bowl Radio Row, and he's been fantastic. So
He's great at what he does. I just hate his character and his music.
Can I go to a wrestling show dressed as Seth Rollins without trying to be Seth Rollins?
Which hold it, but okay, you're going to dress as Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You can dye half your hair,
Dude,
blonde.
I mean, you
No.
got a lot of fashion choices to choose.
Yeah, exactly.
You got the big red rubber boots.
I don't have those.
Oh, you got
but-
Uggs. You still have those Uggs?
Yeah,
Paint them red.
No, just
Oh.
wear the Uggs normal.
that's true. I could just wear them as is.
Yeah.
All right, what were you talking about before the break?
afraid that Triple H,
Oh, piling the belts.
while not cleaning up Vince's mess, will
Here's-
just continue with it as he has and pile more belts on.
And
him.
this is
well,
something
how
you
do
and
we
I
know?
talked about. Triple H is one. At least if you believe the talk around the campfire, rumor innuendo. Triple H wants to modernize the title lineages, and
Explain.
to that end, he wants some of his champions to be. Oh, that's not. To have long reigns. Like we've got Roman, who's about to hit 1,000 days. Bianca Belair has been Raw Women's Champion for over a
100.
year.
Yeah.
So it feels like he's going to keep those belts on Kevin and Sammy for a while. Now we'll see. It could be a tag. There could be a tag team that's either in right now or one of the ones that came up from NXT, like Pretty Deadly, that get a title shot. Eventually, but
So you don't think he'll split them?
I don't think so because. Oh, you mean split them like the Raw tag for the?
Raw and SmackDown, yeah. It feels like
I
now's
don't
the time.
think so. It does, but I
Usos
get
had
a
a
feeling.
long reign. You finally got him off of him.
I know, but it feels like
Tournament
there's
for one of the other shows.
feels like they're going to keep them together for a little while.
No way, man. You got Pretty Deadly on the main roster now. I mean, those guys deserve a title reign.
No kidding.
For
Side
real.
Well, yeah,
check.
but you got let's and believe me, I get a kick out of them.
They're going to be fantastic.
But you got to get. But I mean, we can't just give them a shot now and give them the belts now because they just came to the roster.
Yeah, we can.
No.
What? Santino Marella.
Yeah, he wasn't in NXT. He just came out of the crowd,
That makes it even worse.
and he was a wrestler.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see. But I don't think they're going to split them just yet. I think it will eventually happen. Like they'll do a match
Maybe
at
by
a
SummerSlam,
at
maybe?
a premium live event where Kevin and Sammy defend one of the belts or the other. So, speaking of which, we did have some debuts on Friday night as well as Monday night. We saw Cameron Grimes.
Oh, yeah.
He made his in-ring debut and beat Baron Corbin in like 5 seconds. which that was funny. Now we'll see Baron get his win back, and then they'll whatever. But
I think
good to see Cameron Grimes on SmackDown.
I think
the moon,
sympathetic babyface is going to be like in Corbin's like wheelhouse here pretty soon.
You think what? Oh, say that again.
Sympathetic babyface, like he's going to keep on losing.
Oh,
Like after he lost his money.
Yeah,
we also
expecting-
that was
you
his best
mentioned-
gimmick.
you-
I was expecting some kind of money gimmick between him and Grimes. Like you just lost all your money again, and
well, it would have
Ooh,
made sense
that's
if he was
good.
still paired with JBL.
yeah.
and that could always come
But
back to a forfeit.
that went away. So now it's just
because they tried to rehash the whole
they
gimmick
need
on
to
him.
they need to take him back to his lone wolf gimmick.
They do.
Yeah,
That was-
no. I liked I liked the down on your luck Corbin.
That
was
one
my
was
favorite.
good too. That
Sad
one was
Corbin,
good too.
Yeah.
We did see Pretty Deadly.
Yes.
Yes.
They appeared backstage talking trash to the Brawling Brutes, and I think they've got a match coming up this Friday on
Well, that's
SmackDown.
such a great contrast too.
So
Yeah.
But
we
also
saw
for like recent NXT guys.
we saw Indashir debut on Raw with Jinder Mahal.
So
There
they
was
finally
talk
got-
about
showed up.
Jinder Mahal being the mouthpiece, but it sounds like he may also wrestle because he's still
hope so.
competent wrestler. So
I didn't
we'll see.
recognize him.
I thought he had a good run as champion. He's a nice
was decent.
slimy heel
Yeah.
champion. I
was
thought he did
decent.
really well.
So yeah, we saw Zoe Stark make her debut.
They're still gonna work on that.
And it's kind of funny because, back in the day, you'd hear about these NXT call-ups and then not see them for 2, 3, 4, 12, 24 weeks in the case of Veer Mahan.
Hey, we finally got
And
him.
now, dude, they're getting called up and they're on TV like in a week. So
was-
good stuff.
It's
Then
like
we
having a
see-
new freshman class.
Yeah.
And
We saw McDonough, right?
Yes.
Saw JD McDonough in the Battle Royal. You're right.
And I was like, oh, that was a big one because I know, he's
Which-
pretty high up.
It
and
there.
then,
felt-
they ran a package for him later.
Yeah.
well,
that was
and that's the thing because in NXT it felt like they jobbed him out quite a bit.
They did.
He lost quite a bit.
It was weird how they did.
Now he won like a couple towards the end. I think he won his last match, and then end up on Raw. So
But it's like he's getting like the ultra push off the bat. Like, oh, this guy is the guy that they're kind of like earmarking to be the breakout star.
I don't know if they're giving him the ultra push, but they
they had a
profiled him.
package for him.
The
They had a
end-
package for him.
Yeah.
But they had a package for we saw Grayson Waller. We saw
Yeah, she had a
Isla
package.
Dawn and Alba Fire, the NXT women's tag team champions.
Still don't know what
so,
they're gonna do with that.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
for real.
good
Questions.
stuff. Yeah. So
Oh no, we had questions about those belts.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're
So-
right. I don't know what they're going to do with those.
well, and the So Bianca Belair was supposed to do a championship celebration. They were in Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
At the other UT.
The puke,
I actually told her that and she chuckled.
puke orange UT. Seriously, when I was a little kid, when we were learning alphabets, that shade of orange would literally make me nauseous. And it was.
I'm
when you
okay
learn
with
letters-
it. It's just University of Tennessee. Everything's uphill.
Oh.
I've been there.
well, it's not the Rocky
No,
Top
no
for
matter
a
what,
reason now.
no matter which direction you go, you're going uphill.
Well, as that guy from Georgia called it, a stadium full of garbage truck workers.
So anyway, Asuka comes out seemingly to congratulate her and then blows the mist.
That was a great move.
Yeah. I think and it did feel like Bianca almost oversold it a little bit. I mean, she went like over the top selling that. But,
You know how
hey,
normally when she does the mist, it kind of misses the eyes.
yes.
it didn't.
She
this time.
yeah, she
So,
she got
I
dead
think some
on.
of that was real.
You're right. So if you want to believe the rumor innuendo per our friend Mike Johnson from PW Insider,
And I do.
so SmackDown, I do. I mean, I know Mike. He's a good dude. I got to sit with him in the press box at Mania. SmackDown will do a double taping this week because they will tape the May 26th episode because all those guys will be
Traveling to
traveling
Saudi
or
Arabia.
in Saudi Arabia.
Makes sense.
So this week SmackDown
Friday,
they'll
and Saturday, or Friday they're going to do both shows.
Friday night they'll tape both shows.
Ooh, so
wow.
people in attendance get like a double show
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
They basically
Dang, that's a pretty good
Yeah.
deal for one ticket.
Yeah.
So.
Here it is.
Let's see what else. You had Mustafa Ali winning that battle royal
Yeah,
to
that one
become
surprised me.
he's going to challenge Gunther for the Intercontinental title at Night of Champions.
Yeah, that one surprised me, and then I remembered where the match was going to be.
That was a little surprising too.
So
Even with where it's going to be.
Yeah.
okay, let me ask the
I
question.
mean, it's going to look.
I mean, he's going to job out to Gunther no matter what.
Yes.
But it's just like Zelina Vega fighting in
Yes.
Puerto Rico.
Yes.
You got a Muslim name fighting in Saudi Arabia for a belt.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good opportunity though for a guy that was floundering to
It is.
really show and remind us why he's there in the first place.
Yeah.
Because he really
I
can
agree.
be that good on
can.
his day. He just
We
hasn't
actually
been
got to see him at Wrestle Circus.
and he just
one
hasn't
time.
been given his opportunity yet because he's been floundering in kind of that creative purgatory. So to speak.
Retribution. Oh, come on.
Oh, that was awful.
You know what? Here's a question for you. What are they going to do, Night of Champions, with Mansoor?
Yeah, that's what my big question is, and that's
Are
what I
they
was getting
gonna
ready
let,
to ask.
would they even let him back in the country with that gimmick?
Yeah,
I don't know.
like are the
I'm
maximum
him, I don't even want to go.
like are maximum male models like welcome in?
I'm sure they are.
Because I mean,
It's-
like I was just about to say that Ali is getting the Mansoor spot right now.
Yeah.
So like,
I
what
don't
happens
think
to
it's-
Mansoor?
I don't think it's going to be a matter of.
Swab, my bad.
No, I don't think it's going to be a matter of letting them back in. I mean, it's just a matter of program. It's like, what are you going to do with them?
Well,
I know. I still want to know what that gimmick.
So
I mean, couldn't they just show up and just wrestle? Right? They don't have to do like
maybe
any...
a dark match.
No,
You
I
don't
want to. I
want-
want to see. No, they deserve the limelight.
they're not going to have a dark match. They don't do dark matches on these shows anymore. So
Or what do they call the pre-show?
the kickoff,
kickoff,
shows,
yeah.
yeah,
The
they don't do those.
KFC,
They
Papa
don't do those
John's,
anymore.
Domino's.
They could. It's up to them. They can do whatever they
I
want to.
think no.
If you
I
wanna
think
if you want to squeeze in a little Mansoor,
again,
do it
if
on
you
the
want
kickoff
to,
show?
if you want to believe the
Against Pretty
talk,
Deadly?
if you want to
No.
believe the talk around the campfire, Triple H is trying to keep these pay-per-views or premium live events or whatever you want to call them to a decent. They don't want them to last 7 hours.
No,
He's
that's
trying
fine,
to cut them
but
down. So
If you're gonna have a kickoff show, it doesn't hurt to have a match.
yeah.
How much Rosenberger?
We know
Right.
the kickoff show matches don't mean anything anyway.
Exactly.
So,
So that's where you throw in Mansoor.
Swab.
Becky Lynch challenges Trish Stratus to a match at Night of Champions. There's supposed to be a contract signing next week on Raw. We know the way contract signings go.
Mm-hmm.
You excited for Becky versus Trish?
No.
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 Although I will say I liked her promo from Monday Night Raw. I mean, she tried to sell it as best as she could, and I thought
and she does a good job of that.
it was really fiery and passionate. So I loved that. But I'm just like, no, this whole thing, it just hasn't done it for me.
And there are enough women on the roster to where you don't have to bring in an old Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Although she
also-
looks great.
Also, you won't be able to tell come Night of Champions
Oh,
because they're going to be dressed head to toe.
True. That's true.
You know,
So we had the draft happen, a couple weeks
that
ago?
Lost Eddie's viewing right there. It's just like, okay.
And this hard
out.
brand split
needed
last
those, yeah.
and this hard brand split lasted all of 2 weeks because during the main event, Kevin and Sammy against Finn Balor and Damian Priest from Judgment Day, and who walks out? But Paul Heyman,
But did you see what he
who
had?
is a SmackDown star.
But did you see what he had? A
He had a
visitor's pass was
Yeah.
taped to his phone.
Yeah.
So he was listed as a visitor for Raw.
I don't care.
that's what I'm saying, the brand split is still there.
No,
He wasn't just
it's
able
not
to cross over.
no, it's not there
He
because
had
you
to-
had a SmackDown star
But he had the visitor
show up
pass.
on Raw. Doesn't matter.
As a backstage visitor.
Doesn't
Yes.
matter.
He just showed up.
Doesn't
But see,
matter.
it's unofficial
Yeah.
because he's just a visitor.
Does not
He's
matter.
He's got official credential
No.
as
it's
a
like those,
visitor.
it's like those unofficial
there.
visits for college.
Yeah, he's
The
not-
brand
he's not
split
really there.
lasted 2 weeks.
He's not there.
No.
Now I'm sure they'll probably. Well, I don't know.
Like,
actually,
he didn't get
but-
the ring. He didn't
Oh,
speak.
stop. You look. You
He's
know
just
what I'm trying.
backstage talking- I
You
know
know
what's
what I'm
going
trying to say.
I know.
So interesting.
But literally, it was like on his phone, and they showed it a couple of times. Like that's
I
why
was
he
like, they
on his
were
phone.
not
Yes.
being subtle about that,
Yeah.
which I appreciate.
So last week, for all of us football fans, one of the most wonderful days of the year, the NFL.
Date.
Speaking of your Chicago Bears, did you see the video that they had on their social media to release their 2023 NFL
The
schedule
diner.
with none
Seth-
other than Seth
Rollins,
freaking
yeah.
Rollins?
Yeah. Don't remind me.
And then and then the Cleveland Browns
The Miz.
had the Miz with what they call it, dog pound the Dog Pound Wrestling or something like that, which made me think, hold it.
Probably
Rodney
cool.
Mack wants to have a word with you because that's the name of his school down in San
I was saying,
Antonio.
that sounds like a great promotion.
But anyway, so
Dog
yeah,
Pound
we
Wrestling
had
Champion, Bulldogs,
Seth and
Blake
Miz. They always call that, so the scheduled release day is always like the Christmas for NFL team social media because you get to see all these videos. The Cowboys did something with Yellowstone and Jerry.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I think the best one probably was, as much as I hate them, the Titans.
Yeah.
They had
That
people
was
out
good.
on Broadway in Nashville who didn't know what the team logos were, and they called the Colts the Cowboys twice.
Speaking of Seth Rollins, apparently
Did I mention he killed Sting?
he did kill Sting.
Okay, sorry.
Speaking of Seth Rollins, apparently he's going to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's on the set for the new Captain America movie, Captain America: New World Order.
For life.
For life. And if you believe the talk around the campfire, he's playing part of a villain faction. I think they call it the Serpent Squad or something
Is
like
he just
that.
going to laugh the whole time?
Probably.
It's a
'Cause
stinking laugh.
I hate that gimmick.
Yeah.
It's-
I love it.
But
He's
hey,
perfect for this.
Hey, congrats to Seth on getting a movie role. So,
Wasn't
before
Becky Lynch
still
already in a
behind-
movie?
I would
before
say he's still behind Roman, who was in Hobbs and Shaw.
That's right.
No speaking role, though.
before we go to break, we got to send our best wishes to one of the greatest, superstar Billy Graham. He's been placed on life support. This was a report from the Wrestling Observer, battling severe health issues. He's been battling these severe health issues for several months. The doctors actually advised his wife that he should be taken off life support. His wife insisted that he stay on, saying that he's a fighter, going on their faith. But, it does seem like the days are numbered before we lose another legend, former WWF champion.
You know, the amazing-
Worked all over. Did commentary. I remember him doing commentary the early days with, I think it was with Gorilla Monsoon, way back, in the early mid '80s.
And man, when I was a kid, I thought he was like 50 years old.
Yeah,
So he's got to be in his 80s now. Huh?
I think he's in his 80s. So
He's been
anyway,
going
all the best to
That's the
superstar
coolest
Billy
beard.
Graham.
He's influenced so many people.
Yeah.
You look, Hogan, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Steiner, just the look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took that right from him.
Yeah.
The beach blonde.
Yeah. So, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, got some New Japan news to tell you about. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. That went long. 17.
Yeah, see, that one's nice. So you mean, they can make nice belts. It's like, why can't they make a nice world title?
See, I like the fact that they took up some of the space because the old Big Gold had so much flourish that there was just empty space. That they just had a bunch of flourishes.
I kind of see
Like
where you're
the
getting
globe and the crown were kind of small and right in the middle.
I just don't like the big WWE on the globe and it being two different colors. I wish it would just all been like gold and not gold and silver.
Yeah.
Okay, this next segment's got to go 5 minutes, so.
I'll pop out.
Here we go.
No,
I haven't watched New Japan in a while.
does it matter?
I don't know. We'll see.
Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons, Eddie Cross from Fight Night. Some New Japan updates. We will start. New Japan is having their Best of Super Juniors event happening. It's currently going on. It will run through May 28th. Right now, 2 blocks. Leah Rush is a top A block with 8 points. He is undefeated, including a win last night / this morning against Taiji Ishimori. In fact, you got right under Leo Rush 3 wrestlers with 6 points, including Ishimori, Titan, and Speedball Mike Bailey from Impact Wrestling.
And he's been getting a big run in New Japan for a while.
Yeah, he's
crossed over pretty well,
and he is so good. He really is good.
I mean, that was it the TNA Impact roster? Sorry, Impact. Yeah, it's sneaky good.
It is. It's so good. In B block, Robbie Eagles, Francesco Akira, and El Desperado, all with 6 points for a 3-way tie atop that block. Kanamura has 4 points. As I said, that tournament runs through May 28th. We will see who wins. If I'm not mistaken, the winner gets a shot at the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title.
Do you think it will be Leo Rush? And are you surprised? Considering
It could be.
You know how he was out for so long, and now
He retired. He's retired like 5 times in
Yeah.
the last 2 years.
I know. That's why I'm surprised that, like, oh, wow, he's getting this big push.
Yeah.
And, they're really running with him. It looks like
Yeah.
he's going to win this thing.
I'm surprised every time I hear that he's wrestling again.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I thought he was gone.
Meanwhile, they've got a big show called Resurgence happening this Sunday at the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California. Of course, you can see it on NJPW World Pay-Per-View. Among the matches, they are going to crown an NJPW Strong Women's Champion. So you have two semifinals. Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, taking on Stephanie Vacour, and Willow Nightingale from AEW taking on Momo Kogo. And then the winners will face off to determine the new Strong Women's Champion. You've got Hiroshi Tanahashi facing Will Ospreay. The winner will face Lance Archer at Dominion on June 4th in Osaka. And the winner of that match will be named the number 1 contender for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, currently around the waist of one Kenny Omega. And I got to believe that match will probably happen at Forbidden Door later in June in Canada. So you also have Kazuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, and Rocky Romero taking on the team of Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. Shota! By the way, did you know that, yes, Okada lost the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, but he is now 1/3 of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions with Ishii and Hiroshi Tanahashi. That's a hell of a trio.
He's his own belt collector.
That is a hell of a trio. So, but anyway, so it'll be Okada, Ishii, and Romero taking on the Blackpool Combat Club's Moxley, Yuta, and then Moxley's young boy, the Shota Umino. Hikuleo will defend the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship against Kenta, who is the former champion. And Fred Rosser and Juice Robinson will face off in a street fight. So, big doings in New Japan as they head towards Dominion. It's usually their second biggest show coming up June 4th in Osaka. So,
We talked earlier about how Cody Rhodes bet on himself and kind of Francis Ngannou was doing the same thing. Fred Rosser has really had a resurgence.
yeah, he has.
Had no idea who he was when I first heard about him in New Japan.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Darren Young.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, holy crap.
But yeah, he's been doing well.
Yeah,
So
good for him.
But I was going to say, I thought the streets of Japan were supposed to be safe. Just saying.
got to take a quick time out. We do have another hour coming up next, and you will hear my conversation with Carrie and Ricky Morton. That's coming up next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. 5:11. That's close enough. What is that?
Oh, yeah, the
celebrating
Spurs.
Spurs. Oh, jeez.
They got the
Celebrating the number 1 draft pick. That's just
Victor Wembanyama incoming.
It's like the next mix of Tim Duncan and who's the big German guy in Dallas?
Dirk.
Yes.
Yeah, Nowitzki.
He's like the
You mix Dirk and Tim, and you get Victor Wembanyama. Now we're
okay. Sure.
calling him.
As we said, the interview, which is already up, so you can listen to it or watch it on YouTube after you watch us. It's in the can, so we are going to go through with our segment 5, which is AEW talk. So
What
that's
song?
with AEW coming to town tomorrow.
What song did you use for the Rock and Roll Express?
What do you mean?
Because they have multiple theme songs throughout their career. So
Yeah,
which
but I don't have a liner from them. So I ran Animal because they were talking about it was Kerry Morton, who is the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and his father, the legendary Ricky Morton, one half of the Rock and Roll Express. So they are tagging together. They've been tagging for the last few months, actually.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in the Crockett Cup, the NWA Crockett Cup, coming up June 3rd, 4th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can see it on Fight TV. So because I was thinking Crockett Cup, I went with Animal since the Road Warriors won the second one in '86. So you know who the first winners of the Crockett Cup were?
The James Boys.
Nope.
The Armstrongs? I'm just playing.
Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff.
So I had half.
That
of
was
it.
right after. Magnum TA had his car accident.
Okay. I had half the team.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that the wall finally fell.
That was when
Was that the same time period? I'm not sure.
Nikita turned babyface, and Dusty and Nikita teamed up and tore it up. And of course, then we got to see those two with the Road Warriors in the old. Such great memories. So, all right, we're gonna hit segment 5. So,
What's this one? 5.
5, yes.
Oh, 8.
Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. As we get into some AEW talk. Now, we're doing this on a Tuesday night, and AEW is coming to town tomorrow night. They're in town now, but the show is tomorrow night. So,
Oh, yeah? Who are you eating with? You can tell us.
who am I eating with? What are you talking about?
You know everybody.
I'm not going. I told
What
you.
am I talking about? You don't got like dinner plans with one of the
No,
wrestlers? that
I'm
came to
working.
town?
I'm not even going to the show. I'm working tomorrow. So,
I think you're working us, Stu.
no, I'm not. I promise.
You're gonna be there, and then you're gonna sleep in on Thursday.
I would.
Yeah, for real.
Believe me, I wish I couldn't do that. So
you could retire
anyway,
already. You can take a vacation day.
it's
He's like, you're
anyway.
trouble with work.
We know that Tony Khan is supposed to make a big, gigantic announcement, which he seems to have one of those about every other week. But assuming this is what has been rumored, what the talk around the campfire is, this one is pretty big. Most reports say the announcement will be that AEW will have a TV show on Saturdays called Collision. It will air Saturdays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, which will be 7 to 9 p.m. Central on TNT. Now, we have not heard much else as far as details or anything like that because, again, the announcement has not been made. And I know Tony Khan is set to be on the horn earlier today. So we should hear something about it. It will be interesting to see how they manage this. So apparently,
how's he not gonna, give the news out earlier?
Well, there'll be some news because you'll read the trades, all the good stuff. But let's face it, most wrestling fans probably aren't that tuned into the business side of TV.
True.
So he will make the announcement tomorrow night here in Austin at the Moody Center, which raises a few questions. First of all, one of the big rumors attached to this is that this is going to usher in the return of CM Punk. And in fact, he would be. There are varying reports that he may or may not be exclusive to the Saturday show.
To keep him away from all the guys that don't like him?
Allegedly.
Yeah. I'd be fine if he didn't come back.
I know.
And that's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got the answer. What you do is that you make 2 different belts, and you call one the AEW Championships, and then the other one is the AEW
Universal.
That's it. You're muted now. That's it. You're muted. No, I'm just kidding. Now there has been a lot of talk over the last few weeks, and again, these reports and rumors have been coming up the last maybe 3 weeks. There has been discussion about a brand split in AEW, whether it's a soft split or a hard split, because of the whole CM Punk thing.
Don't they already have one? It's called Ring of Honor. And
yeah.
AEW. You've got 2 brands.
and that's the other thing. So apparently there might be some sort of announcement alongside this, or this may be part of an announcement about a new TV deal for AEW, between AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery. The kicker is it will include Dynamite and Rampage, and if you want to believe the rumors, this Saturday show.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It does not include Ring of Honor. So Ring of Honor will stay on Honor Club.
What are they doing?
Does
You take Friday, you make it Ring of Honor Rampage.
W name now does? I'm just not for wrestling fans. I'm just saying for consumers and people that actually make these decisions in TV.
See, and that's a legitimate question, because
How much
let's not
cachet does
forget
AEW
they
hold?
went.
I don't
So
know,
Ring of
but
Honor went
apparently
dark.
more.
Yeah.
When the pandemic started, they went dark. Because in fact, I talked to Kerry Silkin, he was the ambassador, former owner. He and I talked soon after the pandemic started back in 2020, and they were in Las Vegas getting ready for their anniversary pay-per-view when the pandemic came down. They had to cancel, and they went dark for the better part of 2 years. Couldn't do it. They couldn't do a show, couldn't run TV, couldn't do anything. Then they finally started doing kind of like what the other companies were doing. They were doing taping shows. It was just wrestlers. There was no crowd, no nothing.
Right.
They were doing those, taping those in Baltimore. And then you started to slowly see them try to come back. And then we had the whole, they went dark, went on hiatus. They came back under the ownership of Tony Khan. Does Ring of Honor hold the same cachet as AEW as far as advertisers and TV execs?
I
don't think so.
I got your answer.
And I hate to say that because I'm a Ring of Honor fan. Yeah. I've been a Ring of Honor fan.
You go with the brand split, but you rename Rampage AEW Ring of Honor.
Okay, I can see that working. I was going to say either that or you make
you got separate belts. You still got the AEW name.
I don't think they want to. I don't.
You say SmackDown champion.
You don't want to. Yeah,
you don't say WWE. SmackDown
I don't think
champion.
Tony wants to do that. I think
Listen, Tony.
He wants. Hey,
pissing me off.
Look, I'm just saying. He wants to keep Ring of Honor as Ring of Honor. He has too much respect for that name, for the legacy that it had for 20 years prior to the pandemic.
Well, then get them on TV and off of YouTube.
Well, they're not on YouTube. They're on Honor Club.
Well, then they should. At least
That's
be on
even
YouTube.
worse.
They're on the. They're under. They're behind a paywall.
I
That's
know
even worse.
exactly.
I get you.
Show me, don't tell me, Tony.
Look.
Show me, don't tell me.
I've been asking forever about when we're going to see Ring of Honor on TV, and
even Impact is on Access.
I
come
know.
on.
Well, this goes back to what you were saying beforehand off air. It's like we can't find them a spot on True TV.
40 hours of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
A whole week's worth of work.
So we'll
You
see.
can't give them 2 hours.
Like I said, we'll find out more when Dynamite hits tomorrow, and we'll talk about it next week. So
Tape it before AEW and call it and take away Dark and Elevation, and that's Ring of Honor.
Well,
It's basically
allegedly
a
they're
step below
doing
the
Ring
ring.
of Honor tapings, so they're not doing Dark and Dark Elevation anymore for the time being. So allegedly they are doing Ring of Honor taping. So you may see a Ring of Honor taping at the Moody Center. They've been doing tapings at Universal Studios as well in Florida.
Okay.
So when they say, "Okay, guys, we're live now, make noise," and I'm just supposed to be like,
And then they just change all the.
"Yeah, we're like, we're not live."
All right, let's get to a couple. Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley in a steel cage last week on Dynamite. Omega hits the one-winged angel. He's getting the pin. 1, 2, and Don Callis, that stinking
Say it.
stabs Kenny Omega in the head with the screwdriver.
Not even in the back.
in the
Gave
head.
him matching scars, I guess.
Don
He went New Jack
Callis
on him.
turns on Kenny Omega.
Who was like his son.
That's what that's what he would have you to believe.
There's a painting of him on his wall.
Yeah. So again, if you're listening to us on the horn, you will have heard Don Callis maybe explain his actions because he's scheduled to do that.
You know what? They saw Brock Lesnar's big scar, and they're like, "No, you can't be the only one."
Or Finn Balor's scar from Mania.
Oh yeah, Finn 14. What is
Yeah.
it, 14
14 stables. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
this Canadian on Canadian violence. I
Yeah.
understand.
When's it gonna stop?
absolutely. So,
Because they're cold.
what's that? I mean, that's going to make things interesting, especially heading to Double or Nothing, because I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be the Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club in probably like a blood and guts match
It's weird how
or
they did
something
this.
big, in Vegas.
Because the BCC doesn't seem to need a mouthpiece.
No,
Yeah, Daniel.
they had one. I mean, they had
Bryan
one with
Danielson
William
does it
Regal.
well enough.
He
You know,
does.
they
They
don't
had
need
with
anyone.
William Regal. Now of course he's with WWE. But yeah, Bryan Danielson does a fantastic job, and he's
Yeah, Moxley
wrestling
can
still.
do it himself too. So
True.
I'm not sure why they need Callis.
True.
So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and what the plan is going forward.
FTR has accepted the challenge of Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett for a title match at Double or Nothing, and they're going to have Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee. And they've been playing this whole, could he turn, they who was it? Lethal spit liquor into Dax Harwood's eyes, and he mistakenly pile drove Mark Briscoe. I really hope they're not going to try to turn Mark Briscoe heel.
It is way too soon for that.
It is way too soon. Way too soon. I mean, it's still too fresh with the death of his brother.
I think you're gonna need like him to count 3 for FTR, and then Satnam Singh comes in and power bombs him, choke slams him through
Could
something,
be,
and
yeah.
gives him more babyface heat.
Yeah. So we'll see. MJF,
Choke him with
the
chicken.
AEW World Champion, wrestled his first indie match since 2019.
Oh wow.
And I think that last indie match may have been here, because I was looking at my records, and he had a match in May of 2019 for Inspire.
No wonder it was in Long Island. Okay.
So he wrestled it's his home promotion, Creative Pro Wrestling. It was their homecoming event in Long Island this past Saturday
I
night.
thought you said Creative Pro Wrestling.
Create
No,
a Pro.
Like,
It's a wrestling
create a player.
promotion
Yeah.
and a wrestling school
It's
up
just a
in
weird
New
name.
York.
Oh, okay, it's a school. That
Yeah.
makes much
So-
more sense.
But he wrestled
Cap
he
wrestling.
wrestled a match. So of course, he was greeted as a hero. So
Yeah.
I
I do hope he's here at the Moody Center this week.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, if he
Oh,
isn't
of
here,
course he
I
is.
want my money back for that
Right.
ticket.
Yeah.
I should find myself a scarf before the show.
You should. You were making fun of me for wanting to dress up as a tag team.
You didn't say you wanted to.
That's true.
Yeah.
I said you can't because you're not coming off the top rope. Later on.
That we know of.
You said no.
I was saying no, but theings can change. Just like WWE, it's
So
like
there's a chance.
there's always a chance.
There's
There's
a
always a
chance.
chance. You could wear the scarf.
I don't have a.
I still have some shell shock from MJF chastising me,
for your
back in the days when he was still with Inspire.
Speaking of, did you see him on Impractical
Actually, I don't.
Jokers?
Yes, I did. That was good.
Who watches that show?
It's a great
And
show. What are
again,
you talking about?
And that's why they show it for 40 hours a
Yeah,
week.
I'm just saying they
You're
can.
not doing your part.
They
And
can carve off a little bit. I'm
Look,
saying.
look. In this, you
Trim
know,
it down
this
to
is
36
probably.
hours.
It's probably. Well, I don't think this would ruin his gimmick, but he's actually a good kid, and he'll like when I would go backstage, he'd actually come up and give me a hug and say, "Hey," and how you doing?
I mean,
all
come on,
that
Stu,
stuff.
you're so cuddly. Who
Dude,
couldn't?
he was always like that.
Like a big panda bear.
He's always been like that. Just a good dude. So,
Yeah.
AEW All In, which is happening in August, end of August, in London
What's the date?
at Wembley Stadium. It's like the August. I want to say 27th.
Crap, that's what I'm going to be in Nashville.
Yeah.
Going to see Vanderbilt, Hawaii at Vanderbilt.
Go Rainbow Warriors. I am a Hawaii alum. you
Oh, that's
know.
right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went one summer semester
I'm just
Nice.
going
for Russian.
I got family lives nearby.
when I was
My
stationed.
birthday's that week, so I'm like, hey.
Anyway, now let's think about this. So AEW has run primarily just arenas. The closest thing they've had to a stadium show was the Grand Slam events at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
No, you're forgetting.
They had 20,000 there.
You're forgetting one.
What?
It was an empty stadium. Stadium Stampede, was it?
And that was technically though at Daly's place. They just had the match in
In the stadium, yeah.
in TIA
yeah.
Bank Field.
And
of
the
Jaguars.
suplexes all the way down the
Yes.
field. I want to throw up just thinking
But
about it.
they've had like 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
So when the announcement came about that they were going to run Wembley Stadium in London, which hasn't seen wrestling since SummerSlam 92, it was like, are they going to be able to even get half of that?
Well, that got answered pretty quickly.
As of Sunday, 65,000 tickets have been sold.
Without a match being announced.
We have no clue what the card looks like. We are more than 3 months out.
That's
There
hardcore.
are and they will already have at least 65,000 at Wembley Stadium for All In.
That's crazy.
But-
I mean, no, don't give me this. Oh well,
yeah,
that's
I
a
can.
hell of an achievement
Yeah,
for
I'm not
for a
taking-
company that's like less than 4 years old.
I'm not taking that away from them, but we also have to look at the fact that this is a place that hasn't seen a show since 1992. And
Right,
and
and-
well, they've
the
had-
UK
and the-
is an entire island. It's
and the
not
U-
just like
and
the
the-
city of London.
and
so
the British wrestling scene is hot.
It's not
exactly.
like
talked-
WWE
I
hasn't
talked-
been there.
I talk to Simon Miller all the time.
Yeah,
WWE goes there. Maybe not Wembley, but they go there.
yeah, but it's infrequent and it's not for a
Yeah.
big show. And they know that this is going to be a big show, a big pay per view,
Yeah.
and that all the stars are going
Yeah,
to be there.
well, you're bringing
Yeah.
back the All In
Of
name,
course, yeah.
yeah, so
which
that's-
hasn't been done since 2018.
I was like, are
which
you
I was
pointing
at.
at the WrestleMania sign or what?
Point at the All In at the All In sign.
Like Ronda.
Yeah, I was like,
So, but that's a huge. I mean,
It is, yeah.
big kudos to Tony and everybody at AEW.
And then they just bring over a guy from WWE for one of their kind of events guys.
They've got a couple. Well, Jeff Jarrett, he's been doing a lot of work
No,
with
it
the
was-
live
that
events.
was someone else
But they've
that-
got some. Yeah, they've got another guy who does some of their TV production.
Yeah, that
they
took
brought
some
over
of-
Adam Hopkins, who used to run the media communications for
That
WWE.
guy.
Okay. No. That's the other guy.
Because I've talked to Adam a few times
The production
back
guy.
in the day.
Because putting on a stadium show as opposed to an arena show, total different
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Oh, easily.
And they'll release more tickets. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
they don't sell every, it's not like they just put out. So you're figuring by the time we get to August 27th, it is not beyond the realm of possibility to see at least 80,000.
I was going to say, what does Wembley hold normally for soccer?
I think I heard capacity is 90.
For soccer?
I think so.
Oh, good Lord. I didn't
I
realize
think
it was
it's 90,000.
I was thinking it was
man.
going to be more like
Now,
75.
obviously, you're going to lose part of the stadium because you'll have the stage
right,
and the
you
ramp
lose
and
like the
everything.
back end.
Yeah,
But you'll
But
gain
you
some
gain the floor,
seats
yeah.
because of the stadium floor. so.
Being our resident soccer expert, Wembley Stadium is the national stadium of England.
Yeah.
So it is like the biggest and best
Well,
and brightest.
and the funny thing was, it
But
was
it's also old.
when
this is the new one.
when AEW first announced they were going to be in the UK. Most everybody expected them to be at
O2?
Craven Cottage,
Oh.
which is the home of Fulham FC, which Tony owns.
I was thinking the O2 Arena.
No, not O2.
Because that's a big one. But
No,
Yeah, no,
Craven
it's a big
Cottage.
arena there too.
Which is the soccer stadium for
you're
Fulham
talking
FC.
outdoors. I was talking
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is
It's huge.
it's monumental. So again, kudos to
You got your
AEW.
passport ready?
No.
You just shut that down.
I know.
When
I
we-
was like, this seems like a show you.
When
go
we
to.
come back from this break,
even think
we'll let you know what's happening in Texas Independent Wrestling. You're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. 1828.
Like, I'm sure you got off days that you can do.
Dude, it costs money.
Don't you love
It's
it when,
what do you? I am a state of Texas employee.
Yeah, I thought you got.
I
Like, a
don't
discount
make
on,
I don't make that much money.
I thought you got like a discount on the flights or something because you work for the state.
No,
With Southwest, can they at least get you to New York? and then you can go
Southwest
from there?
doesn't fly to London.
Yeah, it's Southwest. Can you imagine being in those tiny seats all the way over there? Oof.
I have. I just was not too long ago.
Not Southwest seats.
No.
Yeah. They're about as wide as these chairs here.
I mean, I'm not.
I mean, I crushed my nuts, and I'm like 5'6".
I know. I was gonna say, but bro, I'm not a big guy either.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's pretty comfortable
Don't
for
you
me.
love
For
it when some points of the show like devolves into like us acting like children and Stu just like being the dad? Like, no,
just-
not
it's,
doing
my,
that.
it's the best part. It's the
Because you
best
say these silly
love it.
things like, "Well, don't you have this?" It's like, dude, I can't afford a ticket to London and back.
part. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
They're
those-
like what, $1,500?
Yeah, those are the fun segues.
You know,
Yeah.
I check to see how
That's
how
some of
much
the-
it would cost you if you wanted to go to London right now.
That's some of the best radio.
I'll let you know.
yeah.
Let's see. But
You know,
but
it's-
you having food with one of the
And
wrestlers
I
here.
could, and I could probably at least hang out with the What Culture guys.
Yeah.
You know,
See,
Get-
hang out with Simon
get
and
some free
Adam
lodging.
and those guys.
Hey, you guys got an extra couch I can sleep on? You know. Yeah.
You know, I know they're going to be Adam
definitely
Wilborn won't be there because he may be taking care of his newborn child.
when is this event now?
August 27th. So,
Yeah, I guess you.
and
wanna
we
go
got
for-
NXT Battleground next week. The weekend of.
Ooh.
So you got Night of Champions on Saturday, and then Battleground I think is going to run the same time as Double or Nothing. So, but you
Oh
know,
no, it's August 26th, Hawaii at Vanderbilt. So
the Rainbow Warriors.
I already booked my flights.
I don't think they call them Rainbow Warriors. I think
Just
they just call them the Warriors. Yeah.
Although there might have been a, it's kind of a
They-
retro thing.
They
Yeah.
reinstituted it.
Yeah.
Not every team uses it, but they can if they want.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
I do want
Stu.
one of those shirts, the old school shirts with the UH and the rainbow on it.
Yeah.
I had one way back, but when I was about 200 pounds lighter,
I got a friend in the IRS
when I was still
in, Hawaii
serving in
who
Hawaii.
was supposed to give me one, and she let me down.
Went to a few of the Hawaii football games.
Yeah.
Actually saw Marshall Falk and San Diego State
Oh, that's cool.
when they played Hawaii back in the
You ever
late
make a little
80s.
hubble?
Aloha Stadium. Yeah.
the old
Went to the
Aloha
Hula
Stadium.
Bowl. Did not go to the Aloha Bowl. They didn't have the Aloha Bowl then.
Okay. Yeah.
But I've been to
went
the Hula
then
Bowl.
Aloha,
Hula Bowl was
now
the
Hawaii.
All-Star game. Was the college All-Star game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Saw Tim Brown after he won the
Oh, that's
Heisman.
cool. Yeah, so the Aloha Bowl was the bowl game on Christmas Day usually.
Right.
See,
Now it's just the Hawaii Bowl, which
Yeah.
is a lame name. Go
And I
back
think
to
they
the Aloha
created it just so UH had a bowl game to go to.
All
Basically.
right.
So that because nobody wanted to pay for them to travel.
Yeah,
So-
but everyone wants to go to Hawaii though.
well, yeah, sure.
this is how I know that Stu's a liar because he pretty much like hit the nail right on the head of how much these flight tickets are. So either he was looking at it and decided against
Yeah,
it,
of course I looked at it.
or you pay for this all the time.
No,
Because he,
I,
cause he
no,
was right.
I looked it up. Just curious.
Yeah.
Sure, I looked it up.
He said that like $1,500. I believed him.
Yeah, it's about 1,300. But
Yeah.
I mean, we can get you a round trip ticket for just over 1,000.
You don't have any points built up?
Yeah, I'm
No.
sure you got points.
Oh, points from what?
You're
I get most of mine from paying my rent on my credit card,
yeah, that's pretty smart actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
No.
I just a couple weeks later,
No,
I have a credit
no.
card,
Yeah.
So, no. So,
and then I open up a new card, got 50,000 points
no.
just from putting my rent on my credit card.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
That's how you pay for those cruises, huh?
I wish. I did have free flights.
Yeah.
I
flights
did
half
have
the
I
battle
did have an
cruise
inkling
now.
of going to Vegas.
for
Oh, and I did hit on
Cowboys
on a wrestling show in Las Vegas.
Oh, cool.
It was they do them Sunday morning. It's on an FM station in Las Vegas. Guy by the name of Mark Hoke. He and I met at WrestleMania, And so he had me on his show this past Sunday.
Nice.
And we
That's
talked a bunch of stuff. It was fun. I think I'm going to try to have him on the week of, I guess it'll be May 30th. I'll be out of town, so don't worry about doing it that week. I'm gonna get Mark to join me for that.
Be sure you ask him about the A's and what the hell did the city of Oakland do for Las Vegas to keep poaching other teams? What did Oakland do to you, Vegas?
Not build them a stadium.
Kind of like when they used San Antonio's the
Proxy.
the pretty girl to get a better deal out of their home city.
Except this time it actually happened.
Well, it's not even
Once.
a done deal though.
Yeah.
Well, they've signed a thing to build the stadium though.
All right, another short segment. So
Also, the A's were my other team. I'm like, don't go to.
You pick bad teams.
let me run through this, and we'll say our goodbyes. Okay.
Anderson's the greatest of all time.
Jose Canseco, maybe.
Okay, short segment. So let me run through this. We'll say our goodbyes and then continue.
Oh, give me a second. We'll also need to run down the fights that are happening this weekend. It won't take long though. Big boxing matches.
Last time I checked, we took over your show.
Yeah, we're actually into our show. We're into our hour now.
You're right. I know, but I'm just saying. I want to say about it. I'm like, by the way.
Which boxing is it, anyways?
Okay.
Oh, that's
we
right.
can record it and it'll be on the podcast, but you won't be on the radio show because I only have like 4.5.
It's really not important.
Okay.
No, that's important.
All right.
Hey man, make up your mind.
YouTube, Twitch. Be right back.
Chantel.
Back here on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Stu Myrick, Justin Smash Simmons, and Eddie Cross from Fight Night as we let you know what's happening in Texas independent wrestling this weekend. We will start in San Antonio. Sabotage Wrestling presents Welcome to the South Friday at the Yard in San Antonio. Lil Evil, Vert Vixen, High On, Stephen Wolf, and more. That's Sabotage Wrestling this Friday night in San Antonio. Texoma Pro Wrestling presents Ricochet Friday at the Elks Lodge in Sherman. Bell time, 8 p.m. Central. Chase Owens will be there. Edge Stone, Franco D'Angelo, Big Sed, and more. That's Texoma Pro Wrestling this Friday night in Sherman. Dog Pound Championship Wrestling presents Brawl in Bandera Saturday at the Bandera Brewery in Bandera. Bell time, 7:30 p.m. Central. Zeke Rose, Haas Holding, Misty Marks, and more. That's Dog Pound Championship Wrestling this Saturday in Bandera. Advanced Pro Wrestling presents Eye of the Storm Saturday at Pioneers and Old Settlers Reunion Facility in Alvarado. Bell time, 7 p.m. Central. The Cowboy James Storm will be there. Joe Angelo Garcia, Dante Smiley, Shane Stratmore, and more. That's Advanced Pro Wrestling this Saturday in Alvarado. And Heart of Texas Anarchy Wrestling presents Welcome to the Jungle Sunday at VFW Post 8787 here in Austin. Bell time, 7 p.m. Central. Barrett Brown, Brick Savage, Danny B, Aaron Mercer, and more. That is Heart of Texas Anarchy Wrestling this Sunday night in Austin. And that's a look at independent wrestling around the area. Wherever you may be, go out and support independent wrestling. Real quick, the legendary Kevin Von Erich will be returning to Texas to do his one-man show called Stories from the Top Rope.
Wait, what?
It will be Friday, September 1st at the Majestic Theater in Dallas. This show will be hosted by the legendary Dale Hansen, sportscaster for WFAA up there in Dallas, former voice of the Dallas Cowboys. Kevin will be telling stories and talking about his journey through pro wrestling. So if you get a chance, check that out. Stories from the Top Rope with Kevin Von Erich, Friday, September 1st in Dallas. That's a look at that'll do it for this week. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Eddie Cross, tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at Eddie Experience, 1 E in the middle. You can find the show at Fight Night ATX everywhere. And we'll see you next week.
You can follow Justin Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter and Twitch at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch most Tuesday nights, 7:30 p.m. Central. You can catch us Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Central on the flagship radio station for the University of Texas, The Horn, 104.9, 101.9 FM, and AM 1260. Or you can catch us anytime on demand by either going to hornfm.com and click on the On Air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast provider. Make sure you rate and review us while you're there. For Justin, for Eddie, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us part of your time. Have a great rest of your week. And we will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
And that's how it's done. And I think we hit the nail on the head, too.
Nice.
Yeah, because I mean,
I'm busy looking up Dog Pound Championship Wrestling because I have high hopes for their belt.
Well, that's so that's Rodney Mack and Jazz's. They have a school and a promotion in San Antonio, and
So
they do a
the
fantastic.
logo needs to be the middle plate of the belt.
Yeah,
The big dog head.
sure.
That
It's
should be the middle plate.
oh yeah, yeah. So they do a fantastic job, as you might expect.
nah, it needs to be like the trucks, like the Peterbilt trucks or whatever it is, where it's like jumping at you. So like it should look like a Jaguar, like the old school ones, where it's like leaping out of you, like 3D style.
Oh, at you?
Yeah.
Like
Like the face was like trying to bite you, like it's like a panther head, you know, but it's a dog in this case.
mean,
like if
kind
it
of is.
like if it protruded off of the belt, because I
Just
haven't
this,
seen.
but more 3D-ish.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
haven't seen that yet. You
Okay,
know,
I'm with you. Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
I got you. I like
All
that.
right,
So he promised you podcast time. So you want to run through those?
here,
fights real
here, run
fast?
through it, and I'll hit record.
I mean, it's cool if you don't want to, but
No, go ahead.
No, because I
I'll
was
add it
like-
to the podcast.
well, Friday. Have you guys ever seen any bare knuckle boxing?
Yes,
It
it's brutal.
is fun. It is brutal.
It is
You can
brutal.
literally see people in the middle of the fight making career decisions.
Oh, easily.
I should not have done this.
Oh yeah. No, you
Oh
talk.
my God.
Because you talk to these fighters. Because I've talked to a few guys that have done the bare knuckle, and they fight, you know, around and box and stuff. But they're like never again, like the first time, because like every hit you take is gonna cut you somewhere on the face.
Yeah.
And more than likely you're gonna break your hand.
Yeah.
Because
good.
like you know your wrist is protected, but when they say bare knuckle, nah, like
Yeah, there's no
all-
tape on the hands at all. Just
Yeah,
the tape stops here.
yeah. So it's like all those little muscles, and the little bones.
bones, yeah.
You're just asking for breaks.
Yeah, literally a couple weeks ago, they had former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold making his bare knuckle debut
Yeah.
against Mike Perry, who
Yeah.
is a nutcase. he is built for bare knuckle.
Yeah, that was
And
like
Luke
that's the guy.
Rockhold got hit. Number one, he got his ass whooped. Number two, he said, "Yeah, I'm not done fighting, but next time I'd like to have some gloves."
Yes, exactly.
This guy was a middleweight champion,
Yeah.
you know, and it's fun to watch, even if you don't know who it is.
You
But-
say fun, man. It's almost like death. It's like deathmatch wrestling to me. It's like it's asking a lot.
Now, it's much more skilled than that. It's still boxing
I know, but there's a lot of blood.
sometimes,
A lot of times.
but also this weekend it's headlined by Houston Alexander, who used to be a UFC middleweight or light heavyweight fighter. Guy's got knockout power, and he's from Omaha, so it's gonna be in Omaha, and he's headlining, so that's kind of cool. Definitely gonna see a knockout in that one, most likely.
Omaha's a nice town.
Yeah,
Been there. a few
and
times.
fun thing about BKFC, they're also sponsored by OnlyFans.
Nice.
Of
So
course
some of
they
their
are.
some of their lower card ladies have some websites, and a couple of them will be
I
on.
mean, you
couple of them
just-
will be on display this week as a.
you just know this for research purposes.
yeah,
right?
yeah. I got to keep up with this stuff. Jade Mason Wong versus Taylor Starling. That's gonna be a fun one too. Well, I don't know how the fight will be, but yeah, you get it. Moving on to Saturday, UFC puts on just some fights. Got Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill.
Is that the
as
name of the
main event.
card?
That's just what it is.
Oh, okay. I was like, just some fights. I was like, man,
It's a
who's-
fight night.
Yeah,
UFC
it's a
Fight
fight night
Night.
from the Apex, which is basically their
We'll be on
performance center.
We'll be on ESPN.
Yeah. ESPN Plus.
Oh, so you
People
got to pay for it.
these shows?
Well, I already pay for ESPN Plus because I love college football.
Okay.
So,
Still, I mean,
I get
You don't have to
UFC.
pay separate for it, right?
No.
Okay, it's
but I
just
mean,
part of
regular
it.
ESPN.
you can
Plus.
cancel when football season's over. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I won't do that though because there's UFC
Actually,
on.
I have it because I watch like early rounds of golf.
Yeah, see,
Like they do the Masters. They'll do some of the early rounds for like Masters and the U.S. Open.
and depending on your cable package, you can get your Longhorn Network on it too. Depending on
Yeah,
where you're
but
watching.
I have
like-
YouTube TV, which doesn't have Longhorn Network.
Same with me, but I have my buddy's DirecTV login.
Ah, very good.
So I
Oh,
just
Man,
switch that up.
all I give money to is Universal, NBC, Peacock, and that's it.
I do that too.
Yeah.
Like I almost have them all now. It's
Did you hear
ridiculous.
Peacock is going to get an NFL playoff game
Oh yeah.
exclusive to Peacock?
Obviously, I am not
Interesting.
that
Yeah, it's
concerned
a-
because
yeah,
I
Now
already
they-
pay for
game.
Peacock.
Now they're going to have the one caveat is the NBC affiliates for whatever two teams that local market
affiliates.
they'll get to show it on their NBC affiliate.
Yeah, the rest of us.
Otherwise,
don't.
everybody else has to watch it on Peacock.
Well, I'm okay with that because I already have Peacock. Because it's cheaper than
I get it.
was WWE.
Yeah.
no,
I
but that's
get it
my
for
concern
WWE.
now. Is like, oh, when do they raise the price? When do they make me pay for the NFL pricing? You know, because just like DirecTV with
It'll
their
happen.
Sunday ticket.
It'll happen soon. Yeah. But yeah, also on that card, Edwin Shabazian versus Anthony Hernandez,
Don't know
who's
any of
from
those
San
guys.
Antonio.
Okay.
The great. Let's see, Andre Filo versus Joaquin Buckley, and also the top of the prelim card, which I don't know why it's prelim because it's all in the same thing. But Carolina Kovacevic versus Vanessa Demopoulos. That's kind of a fun fight too. Oh, and Alir Latifi. That dude's built like a fire hydrant.
Who?
Alir Latifi.
He's part of the bloodline.
No, he's not part of the boat. I was going to say
He's a shorter, heavy guy.
I was going to say there was a
Part
a
of the bloodline.
former
Yes.
He's built like Solo.
Yeah,
former
exactly.
linebacker for the Seahawks. I talked to at a Super Bowl radio row a couple years ago.
No, this guy's like
But
Polish or
it's
Russian or
it's a similar last name, but it's
Yeah.
not that one.
Okay. And then moving on to boxing on Saturday night. That's when things get really interesting. I'm not sure what time it's going to happen in Dublin versus Katie Taylor going for Chantel Cameron's junior welterweight undisputed title.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Okay.
That
I
fight's
love
gonna be
it when-
great.
I love it when all the gold is on the line.
Yeah.
And between the women, they have like, what? They'll have be like 6 belts.
But that's the way it should be, though.
It is. It is.
Honestly.
Exactly. And then later on in Vegas, holy crap, Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. Am I saying it? Vasily?
Yeah.
Vasily.
Vasily. There we go. Vasily
Oh yeah,
Lomachenko
you know the Russian.
for Haney's undisputed lightweight title. That one is freaking huge.
I mean, Haney's gonna
Be a
win.
big one.
But
yeah. I'm gonna have to find a way to get away from my family.
why?
watch
Why
that
would
one.
you be seeing your family anyways?
Because I didn't go down for Mother's Day last weekend because I didn't feel like dealing with all the rain.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be dry coming
Yeah.
Friday and this
I get
weekend. So
you.
I'm like, oh, I'll go next week. I'm like, crap.
I get
I have to take my laptop and find somewhere to watch that. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe Kiddo Sports Bar. I don't know. We'll
I
see.
mean, you're going to Cuero.
No, Baytown. But then the
Oh.
next weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to South Padre because 311's playing at Clayton's on the island.
Oh, for real?
Well, I
Yeah.
like Clayton's.
Yeah. So I'm going for that.
All right. Cool. Is
Aren't
that
you
wrap?
down there?
Is that wrap? Okay.
Yeah, I'm done.
Actually, I'm going to Padre. It'll be later. It'll be like June 8th.
Yeah.
I have to go for a work deal for. It's the South Padre Athletic Training Seminar, or SPATS,
Oh, that's just cheating still.
and
Yeah, and
I have to go host a booth
So you
and
get,
answer licensing questions.
you still got to drive down there, but you get your.
No, I'm flying.
Oh, and you get a flight.
you get a- and
this
you
is
get a
what my
hotel.
tax dollars are paying for.
Yes.
Right? For students' vacation to
Jeez.
South Padre?
I know, for real.
Yes.
I hope you know this.
Out of here.
I'm flying down there and back. I'm
You're
coming
gonna-
back on the 10th because
But
I have to come back
What day you
and
going?
finish packing. Huh?
What day are you going?
June 8th. It's a Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday, Friday, come back Saturday. I'll be back here in time to finish packing, and then
Oh, Boy
following
Scout.
day, my 29th year at Lost Pine Scout Reservation. For
Dude, He
Boy
didn't,
Scout
he didn't
summer
let me know
camp.
about the pork butts.
I know. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot. I forgot. Like I
You
said,
should
I'll
see my face when he told me that
remind
earlier.
me if you remind me. I'll see. I
I've already
We'll see
set
if-
the.
okay, good.
It's gonna go
Good.
back. Did I look like a kid who got a bad Christmas present?
You did.
I was like, he.
Look like you got socks.
It's like, when I ask about it, I'll fall through and I might not go get the thing.
and
but I know Eddie was really going to go get it.
I offered you brisket, so
Yeah, I'll take the brisket.
Okay.
But that pork was so damn good. Last
I
year.
know.
Oh my
I
God.
completely
still remember
forgot.
it. That's how
You're
good
like,
it
I
was.
still remember it.
I'm
I
not
can
a
still,
foodie. I'm not a foodie.
I can still taste it in my
Yes.
dreams.
Oh my God.
Damn you, Stu. You're selling
I
crack.
know.
Even my
I know.
car smelled so good for like a
I
week.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
You should hear. So when we prep all those things and put the rub on them and everything, we have all these briskets and pork butts. So get them all rubbed and we put them back in our walk-in cooler.
Butts. Yeah.
My God, you walk in there with all those things and it just hits you. It's like you want to eat now,
Oh, hell yeah.
and they haven't even been to the smoker
Yeah,
yet.
dude. If heaven doesn't smell like barbecue, I don't want to go.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
And I was talking to our IT guy earlier today about barbecue places in the state, and how I went to Goldie's in Fort Worth, which is supposedly #1. Overrated. Way
No,
overrated.
you need to go
No,
to.
I went there.
honestly,
I had the food, and I'm like, I've had better.
I mean, I've had Franklin's. It was good.
Definitely not worth that wait.
No,
Nah, right now the best one I've had is Pinkerton's.
I've heard.
I've heard.
You can
Yeah,
go
I've
to
heard
the
that
ori-
one's a
you
good
can- You
one.
can go to the original one in Houston, but there's one in San Antonio, like near
And
downtown.
isn't there one in Dallas?
I'm not sure if there's one in Dallas yet, but the Pinkertons in San Antonio.
There's one in
was
San Antonio. I know that one.
slamming.
Yeah.
It was so good, so good.
Yeah.
I would go eat there again. And like I already
Today
know.
is National Barbecue Day,
That's why I was craving
Yes.
it. Dang, well it's too late.
and
now.
we had barbecue for lunch.
But yeah, and I was talking
From
to the
Rudy's.
IT guy about the barbecue,
that
and I'm like,
barbecue?
oh, I'm doing Stu's thing today.
I've-
I got to ask him about the pork.
Well, we get busy and I forget, and I'm old.
Listen, I got more gray hairs on my head than you do.
I'm still older than you, so hush.
That's how we couldn't find you in that press conference, because I'm looking for all this gray.
I remember
I was
we
going
were
to say I
looking
saw
for
the
you.
picture roll through.
Yeah, we were looking for you for real, and I was like,
Sitting behind Nick Hausman.
I really don't know where he is, but I'm sure he's there.
Yeah, we're looking for all this gray, and everything on top of Stu's head is brown as hell. Like, how's that happen?
I get old. What
Santa
can I say?
Claus,
Yeah.
I think it's 'cause
30
he-
years old.
I think because he wears that hat during
My
the
mom,
summer.
my mother used
Locks
to
in the
complain that I took all her blonde hair. So when I was 12, 13, she complained that she used to have blonde hair, but it all left and went to me. So
Yeah,
Hey, and now platinum's a thing.
true. I got a friend that's already all gray, and he's younger than both of you.
yeah.
Yeah, by a lot. I mean, because he's like as old as I am.
Well, and that's the funny
it's all
thing.
like
I don't
gray
have that
all this
much
right
gray up here,
Yeah.
but it's all in my beard. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm getting it there too.
So
Yeah.
But
Mine
this
would be
will
worse, but I just trimmed it
I'll
like
be
last week.
55 this year.
So you
This
still,
August, 55.
So you
What,
still
what
got.
day's your birthday?
August 19th.
So you
Oh,
still.
mine's
Got,
24th. Yeah.
so you still got 2 more years in the ring to utilize before you have to retire.
2 years in the ring. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, you have like a short managerial run.
I'm
and
not.
you get, like,
I'm
the
not
2
getting in the ring.
I mean,
Come on, dude.
The hell are you talking about?
You could do some Paul Heyman stuff.
I'll get in the
Yeah.
ring if I have a microphone and I'm doing ring announcing. That's it.
You can have a microphone. Just
And
got a
even
promo.
then, I almost got beat up by Jerome Daniels, J.D.
No,
Griffey.
just do like Paul Heyman and cower in the corner.
Thank God
you know?
James Beard came in and saved me.
I was gonna say you can.
Just cower in the corner like Paul Heyman. No,
I was gonna say probably the Bray Heenan. You know.
yeah.
I was cowering in the corner,
We gotta get you a chair.
and it actually took me about half a second to figure out. Oh, this is a gimmick. Okay,
By the way, I'm in the middle of a show. Yeah.
we get out of the ring. It was I
Like,
think
Stu,
intermission.
are your pants wet? What is that?
Moist.
Moist.
Actually.
Moist. Have y'all watched Letterkenny?
Yeah, I tried. I
Oh
saw
my
the
God.
first episode. It's pretty.
Oh my
funny.
God.
How did I miss Michael Johnson?
I
Those
cannot
people set it up.
stop watching it. And they've got a new
Really?
episode coming out on Friday.
That's a Canadian thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's it on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay. I just got Hulu a few weeks back.
It's so quotable.
Yeah.
Takes us out of 10-4.
Have you seen the
Pitter
History of the
patter,
World
let's
Part
get
2?
at her. Huh?
History of the World Part 2?
Yes.
They made one.
It was good.
Not bad.
It was good.
Yeah, it'll never touch the first one, but
No.
you can't. Yeah. It's like Super Troopers.
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But it was good.
Yeah. They got a cool, well, this is actually on Showtime, so never mind. But there's a cool documentary on Showtime called Catching Lightning about this English MMA fighter who ended up pulling off the biggest cash heist in history.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's only 4 parts, so 4 hours. Yeah.
all right.
He knocked
Well,
out-
now that
Did
we
he get
finished,
4 hours?
now that we
He knocked
jabbered
out
on
Tito.
long enough, we're going to sign off for now.
Street fight.
Because he has to edit this.
Thanks to Eddie for joining us. We should be back next week. We got a preview WWE United Champions, AEW Double or Nothing. Hopefully, I will have an interview in the can. I'm scheduled to talk to Evan Husney, one of the co-creators for Dark Side of the Ring.
Okay.
Supposed to talk to him on Monday, so that'll be that. Hopefully, that'll be on. We'll talk about the upcoming season 4. So, have a great rest of the week.